your health, stress is a common complaint these days, but where you feel the most stress may be a real key. We're talking with our life coach, Pat Barone of Catalyst Coaching about stress. Good morning.
Hi.
So this is kind of interesting. You know, most people will say, well, I'm stressed at work, but that's not necessarily the only place where it really piles on top and weighs on you.
No, actually, a new study just published in the Journal of Medicine says that more people feel more stress at home.
At home.
They've actually measured your cortisol levels in the study, and it was fascinating because more people feel less stressed at work now. It's shifted.
And why is that? Are we trying to do too much at home now?
We are, but you know, I think it's important to study it because what is working at work, you could then transfer to home if you could figure out exactly why that is.
Let's take a look at some information you have sent for us. You said multitasking.
People multitask way more at home than at work. Work tends to be more task-oriented. You know, it's more linear. You kind of know what the next task is, and you're moving ahead a lot.
Sure.
And at home, it's just become so incredibly complicated, especially if you have children.
Sure, yeah.
There are 3 million things on the list to do. There's a lot of personalities, and people are just multitasking way too much, which we also know is not as efficient.
And I have to say, if you're with a partner who's doing that constantly, it can put stress on you. You know, I am someone who believes in you've got to just be in the moment. But if you're with a partner who's constantly on the phone, looking at emails, it can stress both people or a whole family unit out.
And all kinds of miscommunication starts to happen.
Oh, I communicate my annoyance quite well, quite well. Okay, let's talk about emotional complexity these days.
And that's part of it, is we don't communicate as well because we communicate by devices. And a device can't tell you if the spouse is sad, happy, frustrated, whatever. And so emotional intelligence is really important. In the workplace, we're training people about emotional intelligence.
Sure, yeah.
And there are big boundaries about what you can and can't do emotionally in a workplace.
You know, I also think that you brought up something really important. If someone's having a bad day, you can't tell tone on the text.
Right, so it gets suppressed.
Yeah, it really, really does.
It's really a big deal.
And let's talk about expectations and income.
Expectations this is a big thing. At work, you have a job description.
Sure.
You pretty much know what's expected of you. You may even have a task list. And it's usually, again, very linear. Hopefully you've got good feedback from your your higher-ups as well. They're trained to give feedback in a constructive way. That doesn't happen at home.
You're right.
Things get incredibly complicated.
There's no handbook on raising your child or being a good wife or a husband.
Well, and there's all kinds of expectations that aren't communicated again, so that, you know, the husband expects the wife to fix him when he's got problems, and the wife expects the kids, it just gets out of hand. We expect way too much of ourselves.
And as we wrap up, bill paying, that can become a real stressor. I find that when I get stressed, I feel better when I create a budget and I spread out all my bills, and I actually can feel my stress going down.
Right.
I think just planning is very important.
Right. And the income comes in because also stress goes down when your income goes down.
Oh, really?
So the higher earners have more stress and more unhappiness.
Oh, money can't buy you happiness.
So that's a factor that you might need to make some adjustments with.
Pat Barone, thank you so much. We will be right